promotions?
Oh, yes. Jake Paul's most valuable promotions. That's it.
Yeah, we're not trying to rip on that. You know, hey, listen, fair play. I hope everyone's successful in all of their ventures, and I truly mean that.
Wait,
the main event had to be. There was the co-main event. Amanda Serrano was the main event. She got cancelled
on his own show.
Well, yeah, because he knows he can't be main event on that. What are you rolling your eye at, Harrington?
Yeah, he's fighting a Uber driver from Oklahoma that he dragged out of retirement. Of course he's not going to make himself the main event on that. Hey, he has a little bit of humility and perspective.
Oh my God, how much is he paying you right now?
Right.
Oh my God.
Can we match it for you to shut the f up and get back on our side? Or is it way more? Is it way more than that? Oh my God! If I was getting paid,
it'll be more than we can afford. To be fair, actually. No, what happened in the main event, Harrington?
So Amanda Serrano, she went and got a hair treatment done. She got some dye in her hair, before the fight. She went on a run pre-fight on Friday, and apparently some of it sweated into her eyes and started messing with her cornea. So doctors came out and said, you can't fight. There's no, you are not going to be cleared to fight. She got into the ring with Paul with those giant sunglasses on to help with light sensitivity. And she apologized to the crowd, and they booed her lustily, saying that, she wasn't going to be able to fight. Very unfortunate, et cetera, et cetera. Jake and MVP Promotions then came out and said, we're giving a full refund to anyone who asked for it, for the $1.5 million gate that they claim to have done on that card.
Okay. Now go out and wash all Jake Paul's favorability out of your mouth, please, Harrington, before you return. Well, that number one, that's such a shame for everyone that did buy a ticket. It's a shame for Amanda Serrano, but it just made me think that's an interesting conversation point. Have you ever had anything like that in your career, that last minute something happened and you had to pull out, or almost caused you to pull out?
Yeah, have I not told the story here?
Which one?
John Jones. No, see, if I tell the story, it's gonna sound like I'm making an excuse.
Dude,
I know, every time.
You could have beaten it if it wasn't for that bit of...
I don't know about that, but I could get out of bed at all the morning of the fight. We had the entire USCPI staff in my suite at the Aria trying to get me unlocked. It's no secret, I've had neck problems for a long time. Not nearly.
Don't get me started on neck problems. I'm dying right now. Don't you stop.
I know, not nearly as bad as yours, but
I'm listening. I'm texting you back.
For what it's worth, for what it's worth, I got I need a couple neck procedures done, and I've been holding them off for a long time because I think that once I have them, I'll be done for sure. So, anyways, the neck was fine through the whole John Jones training camp. I do the injections here and there. I hadn't had one in a long time, but my neck was feeling good. I didn't have any problems. I thought, oh, this is perfect. I don't need it. I'm good to go. Morning of the fight, I don't know if it was the weight cut or whatever. Morning of the fight, I couldn't get out of bed. My neck was locked. My wife is panicking. She's calling my manager and calling the support staff at the PI. And we had chiropractors and doctors and acupuncture people. I mean, there was probably 20 people in my room trying to get me unlocked in the little living room area on a table and getting me muscle relaxers and trying to get me to just
which is exactly what you want morning of your world title fight against.
Yeah, the biggest moment of your life is
drop your muscle relaxers in him.
Yeah, at 6 a.m. Let's just go ahead and just twist him in a pretzel and yeah. So yeah, but they got it loosened up. I was able to take a nap, and then later on that afternoon, as soon as I got warmed up and got moving, and we were able to do it, but we weren't sure that I was going to be able to go.
Well, you did. You just made a massive excuse, Anthony.
That's what it sounds like.
Why.
I mean,
at
the time I thought I was okay.
That's the only reason.
Right.
Why you didn't beat the GOAT.
Yeah, that's gotta be it.
No, it's horrible, isn't it? You can't talk about legitimate excuses. Like I have done it ad nauseum about when I fought George St. Pierre. My ribs were so bad. I had one of the best camps of my life. And then the week before, I tore all the cartilage in my ribs. It was terrible. You know what I mean?
Yeah. But the second...
And I had one eye.
Yeah, but the second you bring it up, they're, always making excuses, being a pussy. Like, it's not making an excuse. That's you asked me the question. That's what happened the day before, the day of my fight.
Legitimate factor. So Jairzinho Rozenstruik got the job done. Just a quick recap of the fight. Well done to him. Got a win. Shamil Gazib, his first professional loss. Rozenstruik had way improved takedown defense as well done to him. Beat up Petrino, beat Tyson Pedro.
Wait, go back.
Tired.
Before we go down it, just quick, we don't have to get into it right now if you don't want to, but did that Rozenstruik fight go the way you thought it was going to go? Or did you think it was going to be a much closer fight than that?
I thought he was going to struggle to keep the fight on the feet.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I was surprised. Like, pleasantly surprised.
I'm happy for him though. The better man won because, you know, Shamil still looked like he had some work to do. Anytime you see a Dagestani, and by the way, in his fights on the Contender and the performance against Martin Budai, he looked good. He looked legit. So it was a good win for Rozenstruik. So well done. And Rozenstruik's a cool guy, man. Yeah. And all of his family and entourage and support. I said it on the broadcast. I was like, I want to hang out with them. They were making some noise, man. All the flags, they were dancing, cheering.
The whole time.
The whole time.
Biggie boy. The whole time. It was awesome.
Well, Biggie boy is easier to say than Jairzinho Rozenstruik on commentary. My
hard
God.
to chant that.
It's a hard one to chant. Mohammed Makad continued the undefeated streak. I think he's now, 13-0, something like that. Congrats to him, got it done over Alex Perez. Umar Nurmagomedov continued the win streak, almost got flatlined with the first exchange. Fair play, got dropped, got caught, immediately turned it into a single, got the double leg, and then pretty much dominated the rest of the fight. Umar Nurmagomedov, this is the chance to talk about this. Obviously with the last name Nurmagomedov, with the skills that he has, the striking's phenomenal, the wrestling is phenomenal. The guy that he fought making his UFC debut, 17-1 from Kazakhstan, legitimate skills. I'm telling you, keep an eye out for that name. But Umar Nurmagomedov, what do you think his trajectory is? And ultimately, do you think this man's bantamweight champion of the world at some point?
Yeah, it was nice to see him have to struggle a little bit, for just a little bit, and have to adjust his game plan. I don't think he was probably planning on wrestling as much as he did. Bekzat Almakan.
Bekzat Almakan.
That dude was good. Really, really, really good. So he's not going to get a shit ton of credit from the community and the fans. As analysts, me and Mike sat there and did the work and dug into that guy's career. That kid is good. He's as good as anybody else in that division. So I think it's a good win over a really, really tough, formidable opponent. And I think he's on a collision course with Corey Sandhagen. I had interviewed Corey a couple weeks ago. That was a fight that Corey was supposed to have when he ended up fighting Rob Font, I believe, on short notice. And so Corey was disappointed. It's a fight that he wants, and even though he is ranked much lower, I think that the UFC understands how tough of a fight that is, how skilled Umar Nurmagomedov is. And I think that's the #1 contender fight. I think the winner of that gets a title shot, and I think a lot of those guys, any of them can beat the others.
Well, that ties in perfectly. And well done to everybody that competed, showed up, got a victory or didn't get a victory on Saturday night. We're not going to go through the whole card. Lots to talk about. Sorry, the reason I'm looking over is I asked Rebecca to open the windows. Oh, it's the car wash noise. Like, what is that noise? Oh, downstairs.
You just come and wash your car?
Well, we paid it.
Yeah. You know, most of us have to go to the car wash.
Well, we do. Most people do. But this is a great business that they have. It's cheaper than the car wash.
Oh, really?
Well, yeah, just think about it. If you're, and I believe that you may be making a foray into the car wash business very soon. We won't get into it all. Personal, private investment deals.
Yeah.
No. So, I don't know, you got the car wash, $40 or whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to drive there, you've got to wait. But to have your own car wash, you need a lot of money. These guys, they got a little van, they got the power washers. They come to our house, they go all over the neighborhood. They drive to us, they do each car $30 a pop. We don't
that's not bad. That's not bad at all.
Yeah.
That's not bad at all. That's a great deal. We do have, when we get like the real, like the details, like where they really spend a lot of time on it, we have them come to the house and do that. But
yeah,
I like going to the car wash. I go to the car wash every day.
Stop trying to make me sound bad. All right, today's episode is sponsored by FitBod, which is the smart workout app that you need to have on your phone. Okay, what time is trying with Shinto Vera? He's for sure going to get the bod. Don't need / bully. Anyway, so back to Umar Nurmagomedov, right? If he beats Corey Sandhagen, if that indeed is the fight that happens, he's for sure going to get the winner of Chito Vera and Sean O'Malley happening this weekend. Did you see that Aljamain Sterling came out and said that Chito Vera had a bad camp for this one, so therefore he's picking O'Malley to win? You see that?
No, I didn't.
Yeah, I sent a video. If you've got it, Brian, just play it. I sent
Dick move, though.
Shot. Yeah, I mean, there's no need to play the video. That's what he said. He's sitting down doing the podcast. He's like, yeah, I heard Cheeto had a bad camp, so I'm going to go with that. So I text Jason Perillo last night, and we had a little conversation. He's like, no, he had an amazing camp. He said he's knocking people out in training. Bigger guys, longer guys. He's looking the best ever. He said, I don't understand why Aljamain Sterling would say that. And he's like, how could he have got that information? Where did he get that from? I don't want to say what his theory was.
I wonder what his theory is. You think maybe he's like trying to mess with O'Malley?
I don't know. I don't know, but I don't think you should underestimate Chito Vera at all. Good camp or bad camp?
Cheeto on a bad camp is not a guy that you can underestimate.
Sometimes, you know, having a bad camp and having a good camp doesn't necessarily result in the best fight. Like as I said before, the George St. Pierre fight, the best camp ever. It was amazing. Yeah. I wish that version could have showed up in the fight. And I've had camps that were terrible. I've had camps where I've had fights where I've had no corner, and just everything's been terrible. But you go out and get a first round knockout.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So good camp, bad camp.
And veterans know that. Veterans know that. If you have a bad camp, as long as you're in shape, whatever, you'll figure it out.
Yeah. I think in that fight, though, one big thing for Cheeto is that he's traditionally been a slow starter. I think with this being 5 rounds, that's not going to be as much of an issue. O'Malley, of course, knocked out Aljamain Sterling, who defended the belt, I think, more times than anybody at bantamweight. So that's a tremendous victory. I do think, though, that the weight cuts to 135 for Aljamain Sterling is kind of what resulted in that knockout. Not taken away from O'Malley. He was incredible. That shot was perfect. The technical brilliance, the selection, the speed, the placement was fantastic. But I don't see him knocking out Cheeto like that.
No, I don't. You got to remember, when have we traditionally seen Cheeto struggle when he does? Against guys that have a legitimate wrestling threat. And O'Malley doesn't possess that. For all the other skills that he has and the greatness that he has everywhere else, and he's not a bad grappler. I'm not even saying he's a bad grappler. I had him on my jiu-jitsu team. He, nasty submission Domi. He can grapple. And he was grappling with Hector Lombard for a pretty good amount of time for his size. He can grapple, but he doesn't possess that real scary ability to put you on your back. And that's where Cheeto's had problems before. So I think that the wrestling threat sometimes causes Cheeto to back off a little bit. He's not going to have to do that. Even with Dominic Cruz, he was just bigger and stronger and was able to really kind of thwart that a little bit. But, I don't think he's going to knock out Cheeto like that. He's too tough. Cheeto's just mean. And he takes distance and takes ground, and he doesn't let you set your feet. And O'Malley, he does really well when he's got someone standing in front of him.
Cheeto has never been knocked out. Never been knocked out. Let me just look at his record here, because I've commentated some of his fights, and some of the shots that he's taken, and he doesn't mark up. You know what I mean? He takes, because he is a slow starter. I'm trying to think, maybe it was the Rob Font fight at the Apex. I commentated that. Rob Font early was landing some shots, and I was like, holy shit. But Cheeto he's like a zombie. He just takes his shots, walks them down, and slowly but surely inserts himself into the fight, and then completely took over. And I think that's what we saw in the first fight with O'Malley and Cheeto. Because O'Malley, let's be honest, was looking good. Then there was the calf kick that he went down, and then he got finished with a really nasty elbow.
The game's a liability. Because Sean O'Malley, again, I'm not trashing him. I think he's great. But the Cheeto fight's not the only time we've seen him compromised at his wheels. It's happened before when he did the interview with Rogan laying on his back with his leg all bent.
Oh, that's right.
Like, at some points, he's had a liability on his bottom half. Not that I got to be good at the top.
Sukumtar. Who was that fight there?
Yeah.
Yeah, he did. That's right. He did the interview with Roman sitting down. Yeah, yeah. When you talk about Sean O'Malley, he is a superstar, right? He's got a big, big following. I'm looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be an incredible fight card. We're going to get some quick predictions from you, Anthony, if you don't mind, because you're not going to be on Thursday's show. But O'Malley beats, let's have a look. Alfred Kashkayan on the contender, Terry Ware, Andre Suckumtaz, Jose Quinones, Eddie Wineland. 2 knockouts against Quinones. Eddie Wineland loses to Marlon Vera, knocks out Thomas Almeida, TKO against Chris Matinho late in round 3, knocks out Julian Paiva in round 1, no contest against Munoz, has a tremendous victory against Biorian. Close fight, but still, that proved his stock of where he was at, that he deserved this kind of, attention, and then he knocks out Aljamain Sterling. So it's been an incredible rise. It really has. What do you think about this fight, and what is your prediction?
Yeah,
If you don't mind me asking.
Yeah, I'm leaning Tito. And I think O'Malley has a better overall skill set than, at least striking wise, than Tito. He's definitely more technical. He's more diverse. He has a wider array of shot selections and his abilities there. I think that Tito at times is magical, and he's very, very smart. Perillo and them come up with great game plans, and he's not off very often. And he was just off versus Sandhagen. And I think that, I don't know, I just don't think he's going to have another off night. I think he's going to look good. I think he's going to attack the legs early. I don't think he's going to overextend himself and be too aggressive. You go back to the Munoz fight. O'Malley was struggling a little bit and lost that first round because Munoz wasn't coming to him. He wasn't chasing him down. He made O'Malley come to him. That's a real thing, guys. Some fighters do really good when they're being chased. Some fighters do really well when they're the one that's chasing. O'Malley's not the guy, typically, that fights moving forward very well. He doesn't do it often. And he's gotten better at it recently, but even in the Munoz fight, Munoz was forcing him to come forward, and he was losing that fight. I'm not saying he was going to lose that fight, but
it's because of his size. Because for a bantamweight, he's very tall. If you're the taller guy, you don't go forward. You keep him on the outside. You pick him apart. You use your jabs, your long-range attacks. If you're the shorter guy, and Mike Tyson is the best example, you've got to go forward. You've got to bob and weave, get on the inside.
But if they don't,
if they
don't come forward, now we're stuck at an impasse here. And I just think that Tito's going to do a better job of just managing the range and his aggressiveness.
So Tito Vera is the bantamweight champion of the World Cup Saturday night, say you?
I think so.
That's the headline.
Yeah, write it. Write it, I think so.
Benoit Saint-Denis as well, Dustin Poirier. Can't wait for this one. That's a brilliant fight. Dustin Poirier alluded to TMZ Sports that if he loses this fight, he might retire.
Yeah.
35 years old, 3 fights with Conor McGregor. The last 2, he probably made some good money. The 3rd fight, he probably made a shit ton, right? Been the interim champion, lost to Habib in the Undisputed. He's made money. He's 35. He's had some losses. No disrespect, he's had an incredible career, and I love his fighting style. I'm a huge fan. He's got the hot sauce. Apparently that's doing really well. He's got the good fight foundation.
You ever had it? The hot sauce?
Never had it.
Pretty good. Yeah,
you like hot sauce?
I do. I like spicy food and hot sauce. He's got a bunch of different flavors. It's pretty good.
I don't mind a bit of spice, but anything stupid, it's just not enjoyable.
No, it's got great flavor. It's not unbearable, and it's got great flavor. You should, now it's the Dustin Poirier hot sauce commercial.
We're going to try it. We'll do a little test of hot sauces. There you go. That's what's coming up next week. And the one chip challenge is going to return. I've still got one of those chips in the drawer.
I got one too. I put Dustin Poirier's hot sauce on it.
Oh, that. Where was I? So Poirier's been there, done it, got a t-shirt. He really has. Legendary career. For sure, he'll be in the Hall of Fame one day. But he touched on, if he loses to Benoit Saint-Denis, that he's going to retire. And I kind of get it. I kind of understand. Because if he loses to Benoit, then you would assume that a title fight is going to be tricky to come by. certainly with the lightweight division, with the depth of the division, and losing to Justin, losing to Benoit, you know, it's going to be a couple of years. 35, made the money, doesn't need to do it. I think when you look at everything, Benoit Saint-Denis is the younger man, 35 versus 28. He's the bigger guy slightly, I think. He's the younger man. I mean, that's big, and he's on a win streak, and 5 fights, 5 wins, 5 stoppages, and his best weapon is that left high kick that just engaging knocked him out with.
Yeah, I might be in the minority here. People that I'm picking Poirier, and I partially take all the skill set and the X's and the O's out of it, because he took this fight means he's seen something that he likes. Because this is a dangerous fight that no one else wants. He could have waited for a bigger name, a better matchup, maybe stylistically, but Dustin Poirier is, I think at times has struggled with some motivation and finding reasons to continue to do this. He said before, he wants 1 of 3 things. He wants title fight opportunities, big money fights, and things to get him excited, and things that make him nervous. Benoit Saint-Denis is one of those guys that make him nervous, and I think because we've seen Saint-Denis get a little bit reckless at times.
I'm sorry, I've got to interrupt. The mispronunciation of Saint-Denis is making me nervous.
Benoit.
French people are losing their minds right.
I'm not French.
Benoit, say it after me.
Benoit.
Denis.
Saint Denis.
Hey, that Benoit Saint Denis.
Oh, Saint Denis is just he's a wrecking machine.
Kind of is that name right there, Saint Denis? You ain't no saint around here, son. Yeah, no. I'm not saying that Dustin can't win this fight, and I gotta say I respect it big time for actually taking the fight. It's kind of like, but to a lesser extent, what Gagey did against Rafael Fiziev.
Yeah,
you know, giving these guys an opportunity. You know, I respect it big time, and I love watching him fight. I'm not saying that he can't win the fight. Dustin's so capable in every element of mixed martial arts. I'm just saying, you know, he just said he might retire. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I understand it for sure. If one, I guess that was where I was going with that point. Like, he wants 1 of 3 things, and I guess I got off track because I went into Benoit right away. But all 3 of those things, you may lose by losing on Saturday. Like, title fight opportunities are probably gone. Big fight, big money opportunities may be gone with two losses in a row and a loss over a guy that's playing full 8. And then guys that make you nervous, of course, you can see that. But like, a lot of these opportunities, the things he wants will be gone if he loses. So it makes sense that he would retire. And I think he's kind of been 1 foot in, 1 foot out for a while. And I don't mean that as he's not dedicated or focused or whatever. I mean that as, if things go a certain way, I think if some things had gone a certain way, he would already have been retired. But I think he's kind of put these parameters on things. Okay, if this happens, I'll retire. And then it doesn't happen. Okay, if this happens, then I'll retire. And it doesn't happen. I think now this is another one of those things where, okay, if I lose the Benoit Saint-Denis, then I'll retire. And I think that if he does lose, I think he will. And I think if he wins, I think he'll stay, and we'll see him in another big spot and probably go, if I lose this one, I'm going to retire.
And he's just a badass of a human being, let's be honest. You know what I mean? You got to think of some of the fights, you know, the Michael Chandler, the Justin Gagey. I mean, throughout his career, I mean, some of the fights have just been phenomenal. Do you know what I mean? So don't underestimate that man. Just because he lost to Justin Gagey, it's human highlight reel. That doesn't mean shit. I really don't think it does. But he is 35. You are 35. Justin Gagey, I believe, is around that. Michael Chandler is 38, I think. Conor McGregor's 35. The point I'm making is Volkanovski is 35. There's going to be a lot of, and we say this every couple of years because people get older all the time. You know, I remember back in the day, it was like, what's going to happen in the UFC when Rampage, when Chuck Liddell, when Anderson Silva, when George St. Pierre, when all of these legends have retired? I think we're getting to another crop of that. A couple of years. Guys, enjoy these people right now. Enjoy these fighters that are putting it on the line, because the expiration or the sell-by date or the time to retire is upon us for some big games, sadly.
Yeah, we're at that. A lot of us are getting to that age where the older crop of guys are like, we're still hanging around a little bit, and there's still some fights to be won, but there's not that many left. There's not. And the age that we're getting to is getting younger. You really like the age of coming to the end of your career is getting younger because the new guys are getting younger.
We're talking about that Bernardo Stolpai,
Yeah.
23 years old. He's like the epitome of the new breed of martial arts. It's not mixed martial arts.
He's a bantamweight, right?
Yeah, bantamweight. It's
He's
no
23. Alvin's my age, 35, 33.
He's got the skill of somebody that's been doing this his whole life, but he's been doing it for 25, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? That's how good that kid is. And that's how good these new fighters that are signed. You know what I'm saying? So
who's better, younger. So it's not leaving us as much time as maybe some of the eras that came before us had.
all right, anyway, should we go to Hamilton for a non-MMA story?
I believe so.
Hamilton wanted to go first.
You're muted.
Oh, you're muted for what? my God, this is great.
Take two. Just fucking come back in, Harrison.
Leave it in.
Yeah.
Oh,
No.
you are muted, bro.
His head is gonna blow.
Rub your face, push buttons, quickly.
Oh, push the blade. Push the blade. Put hammer on. Hammer on. No.
Oh, having on. This is, see, ladies and gentlemen, this is why people, they're like, why is this thing so mean to Harrington? I'm number one, I'm not mean. Number two, this is what we have to deal with when we're trying to do the show.
It's just the it gives us so much to work with.
He does. Not in your head feverish, he will not help the situation.
His head, I can see it grow, it's swelling, it's about to pop.
Well, it doesn't matter. I have it here, right here, so we can just get rid of Hamilton, and in the meantime, Hamilton, you don't sit and enjoy the show, you don't look at Twitter, you don't look to Jake Paul tweets to retweet and worship him and talk about how great he is. You figure out the situation, you push some buttons. Here is what he was going to read out. Let me find it. The son of the 9th richest man in the world is getting married. So for the wedding party, he paid $9 million to get Rihanna to perform.
Oh,
Now, that's fantastic. I mean, if you're a loaded guy, right? Yeah, fair play. Right, if you got that kind of money,
it's not the steroid Olympics, but it's fun.
Steroid Olympics, that's still the go-to if we make billions of dollars, 100%. But I saw a tweet this morning, I didn't know it was going to be in the notes, I saw a tweet this morning alluding to this, saying that the guy's pissed off because everybody there felt like Rihanna, for want of a better expression, didn't put her back into it. She was kind of unenthused.
She was phoned it in?
Apparently she just phoned it in. Doesn't look like it. She's putting her back into that.
Yeah. Looks to me like she's working hard.
Did you see the tweet, right? I mean, what are people complaining now? I mean, listen, you wanted Rihanna, you want to choose $9 million, you got Rihanna, she showed up, she performed, she sang.
Yeah.
What more do you want? You need to sweat more profusely?
Yeah, I know, that looked like she was working to me. So everyone's just mad that she isn't, I don't know, putting more effort into it. That's really it. It seems like it's just people being angry. I mean,
Where's this concert happening, Brian?
it was in India, like a billionaire's kid. I think they paid her $9 million to come out.
In India?
I don't think you can because Rihanna was going to. Hold on, I have this other tweet that was pulled up that shows a precarious situation where she's in the crowd twerking and like right before she goes to actually shake her ass, she's like, oh wait, yikes.
No, I don't think in India they have much of a problem with that kind of thing. I don't think it's quite as conservative and strict as some of, you know, because it's,
Yeah, I don't know. That's why I was asking. I don't know.
yeah.
No, I think I would go though. I would like to go to India.
I've never been to India, but I'm fair play to that guy, and I hope he had an amazing party. Well done to Rihanna for getting $9 million, whether she phoned it in or not. You know what I mean? Well done to her. Every time I've heard of somebody going to India, and I do want to go, the people are fantastic. I love the food.
Yeah.
Everyone always gets sick. That's what I've heard. Food poisoning. Apparently of people got sick. It's like down in Mexico. A lot of people got sick last week in Mexico City.
The water, right? In Mexico?
Apparently so. You don't drink the tap water in Mexico.
I don't drink the tap water when I travel anywhere. I don't drink the tap water either. So I guess there's that.
I drink tap water in England.
Well, I drink it out of my house, nowhere else.
Yeah, I drink it out of the fridge. You know, the little filter thing.
It's filtered and you got the reverse osmosis system.
Oh God, look at that! You're giving me shit about.
I don't even know what
car wash is.
I don't even know what that means.
Reverse osmosis. Well, that would mean putting salt in. I would assume. Osmosis is where they use salt to suck water out.
Like weight cutting.
Like weight cutting. That's what we do.
Yeah.
The process is called osmosis.
It's that.
Reverse osmosis would be putting salt in. Or putting fluids in.
Look at you with your education.
I don't know. I've got my glasses on, bro.
Oh.
I could be butchering it. Guys, yeah, no, in my studies I found that reverse osmosis is actually very, very beneficial for the body. Sounds like you got some fancy water up there in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Omaha. Omaha's way better than Lincoln.
Right, today's episode is brought to you by Mando. Okay, Mando specialise in basically making you feel better. Sadly, there's some people out there think they're over 40%. One that blocks the passage. Promo code: the spontaneous passage of diffusion of water or other solvents through a semi-permeable membrane. Just the two of us. Hold on. Osmosis. And promo code is this.
I thought when we actually hung out.
We did not.
Yeah, we did.
Just the two of us. Hold on. Osmosis is the spontaneous passage of diffusion of water or other solvents through a semi-permeable membrane, one that blocks the passage of dissolved substances. Harrington also added, the process by which forces water through a semi-permeable membrane, creating a stream of treated water called permeate, and a stream of reject water called concentrate or brine. These systems can potentially remove water contaminants such as lead, volatile organic compounds, VOCs, PFAs, arsenic, etc.
Oh, it's like that is.
Can I just tell everybody that we did hang out Friday night? I don't know what that means either. And the last time we hung out, we had steak in like Nashville or somewhere, I believe.
Yeah, something like that.
This time we hung out, we had steak in Vegas, and it was really good. At the Durango Hotel and Casino. Anthony Smith is a generous tipper, ladies and gentlemen. I tip good. But I'm like, geez Louise. I mean, you go over the top, so we don't have to say the amount. But like, well, no, it was a nice steakhouse. We split the bill. It was $175 each, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, what should we put on, like $40 each? Exactly. I'm putting 65.
Well, I had already written it. I didn't even ask. I just wrote like the tip, and you were like, well, how much did you put there? It was whatever it was. I don't know what the number was. You were like, well, God, I got to scratch mine out.
Yeah. It was about 30% I put down, which I thought was decent, you know what I mean?
I don't know why, it's always been a good tipper.
Yeah, what? The two of us.
It's good. It's a good deal. Those deals are good too because they're long. So you just sit there. You can't go to a place like that when you're starving though, because it takes so. Those kind of meals are processes. You got the little bit of bread, a little bit of appetizer. It was good though. We had a good time.
No, it was very good. Should we try Hamilton again and see if he's managed to sort this out just for shits and giggles? Hamilton, are you there? Let's have a look at this.
Oh, I'm here.
Oh, and you have a voice. Give us what's going on with this scientist warning of a major ecological shift.
Oh, so apparently, for the first time ever over the weekend, they found a orca who was able to solo hunt a great white shark. Typically, if orcas do hunt sharks, it's in like teams of 2 or greater. They like to kill a great white shark because their livers are super nutrient dense, and it's like exactly what these giant whales need. So they're saying now, because they figured out a way for whales to go one-on-one versus these massive killer sharks, it could just change the way that everything is in the ocean environment.
No, but orcas, another name for them, as you know, is killer whales. And they get that name because they kill great white sharks. I don't understand.
They also kill whales. Well, they
Whales.
figured out how to do it by themselves. That's the. I don't know why I'm so fascinated with orcas. You guys remember when orcas were sinking ships or like boats?
Oh yeah, that's
So they were able to track that down to just one single killer whale. It taught other ones how to do it. So they're like, there's this one that they believe had been hit by a boat like once or twice, and then she came back and she was sinking boats. And then the other ones watched her do it, and so then they learned how to do it. Now they just keep passing along the information. Why are you laughing like that?
I'm sorry because I'm thinking of the stupidest movie quote in my head. I'm very fascinated with what you're saying. But all I'm thinking of is that Mark Wahlberg and Will Ferrell in the movie The Other Guys, and he says something about a lion and a fish or something, and he's like, well, and Will Ferrell goes, well, you just lost that battle because our fish, we will develop a system. And we will get on land, and we will work together, and we'll hold our breath, not for long, but 60 seconds, 90 seconds, and that'll be enough to figure it out. And you know what? They're going to kill that lion, and they're just going to taste the fire. And you lost that battle. I forget the exact wording of it. I'm totally butchering it, but it's a hilarious scene, and I'm sorry. I'm trying to listen to your very fascinating talk about orcas and killer whales, but all I'm thinking about is Will Ferrell talking in The Other Guys. I apologize, sir.
It's okay. I'll be Will Ferrell. But anyway,
So yeah, tell me about these orcas. They're fascinating.
well, they are fascinating. Well, now they're killing like great whites by themselves. That's probably a big problem for the shark population. Because
So
if they
I
can do it
don't
alone,
believe that would be the first time ever. That's probably just the first time that humans have observed.
it's probably the first time we've ever seen it.
Yeah, that we've got evidence of. I mean,
Yeah.
the planet is millions and millions and millions of years old. I don't know how long great whites and orcas have been around. It's going to be a long time.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the
I
first.
mean, maybe you get these orcas teaching each other how to kill sharks one at a time. There's not gonna be that many sharks around, probably. It's crazy. That's just fascinating to me. I don't know why.
No, it is. It is. And orcas are smart as hell. Just whales in general.
It's
You
even
know what I
crazier
mean?
that they don't attack people.
And they talk to people. Do they not attack people? I don't know. I reckon they would.
There's no
Only the ones in captivity have ever killed
there's
people.
no live.
What
There's
was
no
that one called?
documented.
The World? Shimu or something?
There's
Blackfish?
well, that was the show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's no documented attacks on humans in the wild. Just in captivity.
And they speak to each other. Do you want to give me a whale impression? Do you want to talk a bit of whale to me, Anthony? Come on, you.
I don't know what they sound like.
No. Come on, give me some whale. You can talk whale, Anthony. Get a few beers, Anthony will talk whale to you all night.
Oh shit.
God, geez.
Every time we talk about orcas, I don't know why, I just nerd out over here. People probably on the show are like, this guy is the whale guy.
We got to go to. I've been whale watching. I go whale watching. We do it probably once a year. We do it down here in Newport Beach, close to us. And anytime we have family from England or anyone visiting, we go, let's go whale watching. Because it's a nice day out. You get on the boat, it's not expensive, you know, and you sit there, you go out in the harbour and out to the ocean. You have a beer, you have a sandwich, and you normally see some dolphins. Never seen a whale.
Never?
Never seen a
I get
whale.
really excited seeing dolphins. I've
Oh,
always
you
been
see a lot of dolphins, man. There's
A lot
hundreds
of
of them. Just
dolphins.
jumping out
I've
the
seen
water like
I've
crazy.
seen manatees one time. That was pretty cool. Outside of Jacksonville, we were fishing on like a little fishing charter and seen a whole shit ton of manatees. But they
You know what we
wasn't like in the wild. They were like by houses that were on the
Do you know
water.
what we should do? Do you know what we should do? And I'm serious about this. This is not one of our wild expeditions. That'll never happen. Clay Guida as a company, Thrills and Gills.
And gills, yeah.
Thrills and Gills. And he's invited me a couple of times. And I said I'll make it happen
Yeah,
down
me
off
too.
the coast of Florida. Has he invited you as well?
Yeah, we have the same manager. So he always is talking about trying to get me out fishing.
We gotta go and do that. We gotta go do that.
We should. I love it. I love fishing.
Yeah. I want to take Lucas with me though. It's gonna kill the vibe a little bit.
Nah,
You know, he'll be 14.
it'll be fun.
He can do his
Get him a fake ID. Have a good time tonight. It'll be fun.
Get a few beers down his neck. It'll be good. Right. MMA. What have we got? Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou is happening next weekend, by the way. Sorry, not Tyson Fury. Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou. Did you see the promo for that?
No, I haven't seen the promo yet.
Oh, you saw the old one, the Usyk and Fury, right?
That one was awesome.
This one is just as awesome. It's basically a Street Fighter 2 theme.
Yeah.
Right, Brian, do you want to bring it up and just play a little bit of it? It is brilliant. It's fantastic. It's Anthony Joshua and Francis Ngannou as Street Fighter 2 characters, and you just follow them all over the world. Here it is. Let's have a look at this.
Francis,
Yes.
you're enjoying New York, my friend.
Oh, this is awesome.
Look.
The fight's on. It's a good deal. That ain't
Whoa.
There's AJ.
No way.
Or I guess way better.
This is awesome. Wow.
Yeah, isn't this sick?
This is awesome.
I mean, as a Street Fighter 2 fan myself, I'm a big Street Fighter 2 fan. This is incredible. But the production, the creativity.
The money that would go into something like this.
And just for Ngannou and Joshua to be a part of promotional material like this. I mean, this is,
This is
helps
next level.
Oh, it's next level. But if you're going to get into acting or something like Ngannou's already done, this is like, it all helps with those kind of skills, Look at this.
Look, they're all over the world. This is insane. This is
brilliant.
You're right. This is way better than the Fury Usyk one.
I don't know if it's better. It's up there though. Do you prefer this one?
Yeah, I think I prefer this one.
I think it's almost done now. Shoryuken! Boom.
Oh,
Isn't that
that's
sick?
incredible. Yeah, that's awesome. I always wonder how come the UFC doesn't do some cool stuff like that. Every once in a while for the really big fights, I've only remember seeing it 2 or maybe 3 times. They just 2 Conor fights.
Oh yeah, no, they did some when Jose fought Conor and they're walking through the streets of on the Las Vegas Strip.
Yep.
Yeah, the big fights like that. I mean, Saudi Arabia, they've just got crazy money. You know what I mean? Insane budgets. Limitless money to spend and promoting them. But for them, I think the bigger play is it's not about just the boxing, it's about creating and turning Riyadh into a destination. Not just about the boxing, it's about turning it into, so that's like tourism money.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They're trying to say, hey people, Riyadh's on the map. Come and visit here. We got boxing, we got alcohol now. You know what I'm saying? So you might not get Rihanna twerking though.
Maybe not. She's not going to put the full work in. She's going to get great boxing promos.
Here's something we've never spoke about, and best of luck to both men, and well done to everybody involved in that sensational promo. Video games, Anthony, are you much of a gamer?
A little bit, yeah. A little bit.
What do you like to play?
Well, mostly first-person shooters. I get into a little bit of golf and some of the F1 racing games. But I've been into Halo for a long time. So actually, my 6-year-old's kind of getting into nerd out on games a little bit, so we've been trying. They like the UFC game, the kids, the Mortal Kombat.
You gotta grab Helldivers.
Helldivers. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what Lucas is playing right now.
Me too.
Yeah, Lucas loves it. I just had to buy a second remote because I said, bring the PS5 downstairs. I got sent a PS5, it's mine, but it's in Lucas's bedroom. I said, bring it downstairs. I said, I'm bored out of my head. I said, I want to play some video games. You look good.
Yeah.
So we ordered a remote, but he still won't let me bring it down. Do you ever play in Street Fighter 2? Because I will whoop your ass off.
You'll probably whoop my ass, but I have played. Yeah, I used to have these in my old house. I had these little miniature arcades, And I had Street Fighter 2. It was one of the arcade games I had. So like you can sit on like a little chair, me and a kid being nerded out on there. It's fun.
Who was your character of choice?
I just whoever. I just picked whoever was on there. Yeah.
Ken and Ryu all there for me, man. Dragon Punches. What is it?
And I wasn't, when I was younger, I wasn't super into Street Fighter because I'm a little bit younger than you. So we were like into Mortal Kombat a lot.
Mortal Kombat's good. Yeah. No, I do miss playing some video games. I haven't played them in ages. I was obsessed when I was a kid, so might not even bloody do it though. Get back into it because I've got better things to do. Right, Hamilton, should we try this again? Number 3, Alex Pereira, Israel Adesanya.
Yeah, so I'm here. No, so Alex Pereira said that he's very open to the idea of training with Israel Adesanya. He says that there are two guys who are both highly skilled. They can learn a lot from each other. He also says that he's only willing to do it if the possibility of them ever fighting again has been put to bed. He made the point that when he won the light heavyweight title, he said, "Come on up. You don't have to fight anybody else. You get an immediate title shot." And Izzy said no. So because of that, he believes that their fighting history may be done, and they can start working together, making them both better fighters in the gym.
Interesting because they're 1-1 in MMA.
Mm-hmm.
I find it kind of surprising. No judgment on his fighting achievements or heart or that he's ducking Israel or anything like that. That's not where I'm going. I'm just saying that shocks me to hear Pereira wanting to actively close the door on that rival.
It actually doesn't surprise me that much. Because I think him, of course he wants to make money, and I know that he understands the economics of fighting, and so when he offered Israel that title shot, I know that was a little bit of that too. I think we've gotten into this before, that I truly believe that it was him maybe extending an olive branch to Izzy after him winning the title, and like Izzy was kind of down on his luck, and there was that messed up translation, you know, and it was really him almost doing him a favor, saying, "Hey, you helped me when I was down, now you're down, I'm going to help you come get a title shot." Of course, there's some economics and some selfishness that is there, but I also do believe that he wants to help him. And I think if he believes they're not going to fight and Izzy doesn't want to, that I think they would put that to bed. I also believe that, so I've always wanted to train with Glover Teixeira. After we fought, we talked about it several times, but then now there's this thing where Alex went up to 205, and at some point there may be a time that comes where Alex and I will fight. So I haven't been able to go and spend any time there because I would love to train with Alex. You know, I think he's got an incredible skill set that could really help me, but I can't do that until I know we're not going to fight. So I understand him saying that, but I don't know that they know each other so well and they possess very similar skill sets. I don't know that it would really matter that much.
But the reason it surprises me, and listen, I think it's very commendable of Pereira to be so mature and like, you know, bygones be bygones and let's train together and help each other out. That's beautiful to see, and as a human being, I commend it. Mm-hmm. You know, but I'm just saying from my perspective, if I was Alex Pereira and the last thing that happened between the two of us, if we were one apiece, was me getting flatlined and knocked out cold, right? I'd be like, bro, we gotta run that back one more time. and maybe that means I'm a shitty human being. But as a fighter, I'd be like, we're doing this again, right? Because I got you 3 out of 4. Mm-hmm. The last one, the world remembers me going to sleep.
Yeah.
We're running that one back, buddy. Why don't you come up to 205? I will be chatting all kinds of shit. As I say, that probably means Alex is a better guy. Is in control of his emotions and all that kind of stuff. But I'm just saying the fight a bit inside you, that little, the devil on your shoulder. I'm surprised to hear him say that. I'm surprised he's not going, brother. He doesn't talk. What am I saying?
What are you talking about?
The drama will speak for him. That part surprises.
Yeah, but I mean, you can't really chase him if he doesn't want to fight. Maybe just he's like, hey, he doesn't want to do it. He's not coming up to 205. We've had that experiment. Who knows? Maybe he's just a better man than we are.
Yeah, well, he's definitely a better man. Better man than you, anyway. That's for sure. But I tell you what, Jamal Hill, Alex Pereira. I think that's a phenomenal. We've talked about this before, but I think that's a sensational fight. You know Jamal better than I do. You know how he's doing in training? Have you spoke to him recently?
No, which tells me the training is going very well. Because if Jamal's out hanging around, it means he's not training that much. So I haven't heard from him in a couple weeks. I haven't seen him anywhere. I've worked a couple shows recently and haven't seen him. So it tells me he's dialed in, he's locked in a hole somewhere and getting to work, which is exactly where he needs to be.
Is exactly what he needs to do. Right, I'm gonna come at you quick fire style, if you don't mind.
Yeah.
UFC 299, guys, goes down this weekend. UFC Vice City, UFC 299. Sean O'Malley versus Marlon Chito Vera in the main event. Opening up the main card, we have Theo Dian, former champion, taking on Song Jidong. Anthony Smith, who wins that fight?
I think Theo Dian. I think he's just too good on his feet. He's got great takedown defense too, and I think he's had a little bit of a bad run. And I think at some point at some point in time that run has to end, and I think it's Saturday.
I agree. I do agree. Moving on, we've got Gilbert Burns. This is a tough one. This is a tricky one because Gilbert Burns, who doesn't love this man? And he's a hell of a fighter. Injured his arm against Bilal. He's coming back with a bang. He came on here recently. He's been working hard. He looked exhausted when he came on. God bless him. Taking on Jack Della Maddalena. Equally as nice a guy, equally as ferocious a fighter. Of course, nowhere near the level of jiu-jitsu or grappling than Gilbert Burns, but on the feet, the man's special with the boxing. What do you think of that one?
Yeah, you know, there's not too many people that I would pick over Jack Della Maddalena because I do really enjoy his style. I think that he's magical sometimes. But Gilbert Burns is a much better wrestler than, God damn it. Oh my God,
Basil Hafez.
Basil, my old training partner, just lost it.
I've got the knowledge.
Yeah, he's a better wrestler than Basil, and he's a better grappler than Basil. Basil was able to take him down, pass his guard, take his back, mount him. If Basil can do that 6 months ago, Gilbert Burns can do it on Saturday.
Yeah, I see you thinking, of course. Then we move on. I mean, Gilbert Burns, remember what he did to Stephen Wonderboy Thompson as well? That was an absolute shutout.
And after Gilbert loses, he comes back quietly and with a vengeance. That guy will rattle off 3 or 4 before we even realize it happened, and he gets angry inside and doesn't ever come out.
Earlier point of discussion, 37 years old. Another guy that isn't going to be around for too much longer.
Yeah, we don't have any more Gilbert Burns fights.
When El Dorino hangs it up. Kevin Holland, Michael Page, Venom Page. Excited for this one. Tremendous amount of hype around MVP, and for good reason. He's a showman. He's got incredible striking. The stuff he does is like the shit you see in a movie, like a martial arts film, but he does it for real in the octagon. He's one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet, but he's a cocky bastard when he fights. And I love that juxtaposition, how he's able to just transform as a character. But how do you see this one? Because I think on paper, when you look at his competition, this might be the toughest fight of Michael Venom Page and Kevin Holland.
Yeah, this is by far his toughest opponent. If you look at the strength of schedule, I think that MVP has kind of been stuck in other organizations, fighting the best opponents that he possibly can, but not the level of guys like Kevin Holland. We did see him lose in bare knuckle versus Mike Perry, who's not known as a really pretty technical striker. Totally different sport, so maybe that changes a lot of things. But I think Kevin Holland is the better grappler. I think that the striking, I think Kevin Holland's a better finisher, at least with his boxing, for sure. So I think Michael Venom Page is a better kicker. I'm a little more diverse in his spinning attacks, but I do think Kevin Holland gets it better.
All three of you, did you see the fight with MVP and Diego Lima in Bellator? I never saw that one, so I'm not sure how that went down.
I think there was 2 of them, right?
Yeah, there might have been, but I'm assuming he got out wrestled, right?
No, he got knocked out.
Did he? Oh, did he? Shit.
Yeah,
He was doing some dumb shit,
Diego
and
Lima threw an inside leg kick.
Got knocked out. Yeah,
And
round
he went down to his knee. Diego Lima threw an inside leg kick, and it popped his leg out, and he went down to one knee. And before he could get up, Diego Lima hit him with an uppercut on his way up.
Douglas Lima.
Douglas, not Diego. Douglas, my bad.
Is that the brother of Diego Lima?
I do believe they're brothers. Yeah, here it is.
Oh, let's have a look.
Leg kick. Out. Yeah.
Oh,
It's outside leg kick.
man.
Yeah.
Do that again, Brian.
It's nasty. Yeah, I forgot it was an outside kick. Boom.
But I mean, listen, he capitalized on an amazing opportunity. Just do it again, because I want to see if you can freeze frame it a little bit just before he jumps. What was he trying to do?
He was trying to
that?
jump in and throw
He's trying
a right hand across his body because he was so
He's trying to-
bladed.
He's trying to leap in with the backhand.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then did he kick? He kicks his leg from under him.
Lima,
before he
yep,
jumps.
Lima kicked him right here. Boom.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah. Hey, fair play to Lima. What an uppercut that was.
And I
What
think
a shot.
I think they rematched, and I think Lima beat him in a decision.
No. MVP won.
He won the
Yeah,
rematch?
I'm looking at his record here. Yeah.
Lima was good. When Lima was on, that dude was one of the most dangerous welterweights in the world. Yep, good.
Yeah, without question. Well, thank you for that, Anthony, for giving your predictions on St. Martin's on Bloody Thursday. Otherwise, we're going to have nothing to talk about. All right, today's episode is sponsored by 5 Optimizers that specialize in giving you every form of magnesium replaced by Optimizers. Magnesium under the never been. Son, get it all in one stop by going to magbreakthrough.com/BYM.
Are you going to Miami?
No.
Damn.
Never been to Miami.
Me either. That's why I'm excited.
Oh,
Never been there.
Never been there. I hear it's fantastic.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Harrington and Brad, have you guys ever been to Miami? Do you know Saturday night, because we were talking about, how the UFC events used to have names. I brought up like UFC 40 Vendetta. I think that was Tito Ortiz versus Ken Shamrock. And then John Allen goes to DC. All right, so if we were to do that for this weekend, what are we calling UFC 299? And DC goes Vice City. And I don't know why I thought of that Grand Theft Auto bit.
That's what I was thinking.
Goes, oh shit, here we go again. Right, here we go again. And TNT Sports made like a meme of it, right? They put it on social media, so I reposted it and all the rest of it. And some people have come back giving me shit going, oh, nice try, Bisbee. That was actually San Andreas. I'm like, so what? So what?
Whatever.
I know, get a life.
Yeah, either way. Close enough.
Oh shit. Here we go again. And here we go again with the questions. Is there anything that we haven't got to, Harrington? Let me just do this. Let me just do breaking news. But Harrington, come on, is there any stories that are breaking that we don't know about? That we got to, that we should have got to?
No, I mean there's no nothing.
Hold on, what's this? Hold on. He needs to be released from the UFC. MMA community, the actually tells you no worries and strife. Are they talking about his opponent? Oh, man, they're talking about his opponent. Oh, the man lost the first one of his career.
Leave him alone.
Lost one fight.
Get out of here with that bullshit.
I know. Kick your man while he's down, why don't you? Okay. All right, well, if you have a question, send it into bympod@gmail.com.
And if you're listening on Spotify, iTunes, wherever you find podcasts, make sure to subscribe. Leave us a 5-star rating, positive review. It really helps us out. If you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the channel and you hit that notification bell to find out whenever a new video drops. And if you want to catch over 500 episodes you can't find anywhere else, completely ad-free and totally uncensored, head to gasdigital.com. Use the promo code BYM, get a 7-day free trial. Check out over 20 great shows on the network.
All right. So first question, we got 2 questions here today. First question is from James from Cornwall.
Cornwall.
Nice place.
Hi guys, this is James from Cornwall, England. Long-time listener, massive fan of your podcast. I've been a massive fan of yours, Michael, since Tough. I've followed your career. Just want to say congratulations to everything you've done for the sport. It still bugs me you didn't get a mention on Sports Personality of the Year. Still pains me to this day. I love your commentary. I'm so pleased you're doing well. I just got a question for you, Michael. When you're commentating, who decides on who's going to interview the fighters after the fight? Sometimes it's you, sometimes it's Felder. It seems to be anyone. Would you prefer that it was you, or do you like to kick back and chill out while someone else interviews the fighter? And one last thing, I was watching an England program the other day called QI, and your hometown was mentioned, and I never realised this, but it's actually spelt Clit Hero. Are you and the guys aware of that? Cheers, guys. Just keep up the good work. I'll keep listening. Thank you. Bye.
Yeah, just Google Clitheroe, and I don't mean the spelling, Brian. Let's get an image of Clitheroe to give the people some context. But yeah, it is. It's Clitheroe, and it's very childish, James from Cornwall. All right, very. But Anthony likes it.
Funny, yeah, he's just like, just so you know, I know that you know how to spell it, but I'm going to tell you again, it's Clitheroe.
I remember the first time I ever put it on Twitter. People were like, whoa, what?
Where are you from?
Yeah. I mean, if the shoe fits. What did he ask?
Who makes the call to interviews?
Yeah. Well, there's kind of, I don't want to pull the curtain back too much on the production, but, you know, it's kind of, obviously it's a pay-per-view, and then it's Joe Rogan. And if Joe Rogan's not there and DC's there, then it's DC. You know, I mean, it's kind of a meritocracy, a hierarchy, you know what I mean? If it's me and Brendan, or if DC's not there, I'll do it, right?
Mm-hmm.
If Joe Rogan, if Rogan's not there, it's DC. If DC's not there, it's me. If I'm not there, it's Felder, and if Felder's not there, then
there's no interviews because they're not letting Dom do
Fitzgerald's
it.
going in.
They're not letting Dom do it.
And to answer the question, yeah, I would love to do it every single time. That's one of my favourite parts. Going into the octagon and speaking to the fighter. Certainly when, you know, like for example, I've never interviewed Derek Lewis. Like, oh no, I have, but you know, people like that, you know, when you have those viral moments, you know what I mean, or speaking to the fighters, certainly like in London or in Paris, when you speak to the hometown fighter that's just got to win and the crowd goes amazing. It's an amazing feeling. I love being involved.
Could you imagine the visuals of Dominic Cruz interviewing like Alex?
Oh, don't. We're not doing that. We're not bad-mouthing commentators, Anthony.
I'm not bad-mouthing him. He's just little. Wouldn't that be funny? He's like, how do you feel about your performance?
Well, if you do the Megan Ali, no. We could do the Megan Ali. She stands on boxes.
On boxes, yeah.
Yeah. She stands on a box. You don't see the box out of camera. Who else does that?
They bring a box into the octagon?
No, she doesn't do in rings.
Behind
the backstage interviews, a lot of the time.
Depend on the person. Laura stands on a box sometimes.
Laura stands on a box, yeah.
I'm sure Charlie probably does sometimes.
Yeah. That's hilarious. You know what I mean?
John Anik I've had Anik on a box next to me on the desk before. I swear.
Don't lie.
Yeah. He was pissed about it too. I think they took it out shortly afterwards because he was not happy, but he was right next to me on the desk.
Who were you working with? So it's you?
Me, Anik, Chael, and I think Michael Eaves. So it was like three guys that were 6'2" to 6'4".
Yeah, I'm going to say, because Michael Eaves is a big dude as well.
Yeah.
And shout out Michael Eaves, by the way. What a great guy he is. Michael Eaves, ESPN, regular host and feature on there. He's a solid human being, that guy.
Yeah, he does a lot of basketball and golf. And, you know, one time in Bristol, he texted me and we were working together there, and that's where he lives. He said, hey, come out to my spot. I got this little, like, kind of bar restaurant area. Man, he's the type of guy that if you're in his city or his place, he won't let you do anything. You come there, he buys you dinner, he buys your drinks, make sure that you get home safe. Like he really feels like he needs to personalize that. Like, you're in my area, you're my city, I take care of you. He's a really good dude.
Yeah, he's a real stand-up guy. Speaking of standing up, so John Anik was standing on a box
for a short period of time.
I could just see John Anik get
I hope he doesn't get
that.
mad at me. I'm just giving him shit. But yeah, he was on
well, you just told the world. We all know how tall John Anik is.
We know that John Anik, he ain't a very big fella. Incredible human being. He is
an incredible human being, I'll tell you that right now. But he's not the smallest person in the world, far from it. You know what I mean? He's not ridiculously short. And all you got to do is a quick Google search. There we go. John Anik, he's 5'9".
No.
That's what it says right here.
Can't believe
John
everything you read.
He's famously known as an American mixed martial arts commentator. He started at ESPN over 5 years. How old is John Anik? Born on the 3rd of July 1978, Boston, Massachusetts. Can you do a Boston accent?
I can't do a Boston accent, but I love listening to Boston accents. There's a couple of people, there's a guy, like a couple on Instagram, and the husband's whole shtick is to make his wife say things and like with her accent and make fun of her for it.
Yeah,
It's really fun.
Oof, I tell you what, this might be bullshit on his high, because his net worth is popping. He's got his net worth. Hey,
Balling. He knows. He might be
my
balling.
God, he has amassed quite a bloody
He
impressive
deserves,
amount of
he
money.
deserves every penny.
Do you know what he does? Because he literally is the man. You know, in terms of commentating, that guy, like the respect that he has for the sport and the fighters, just little things like pronunciations and whatnot. And the reason he gets on his high horse, not his high horse, that's the wrong term. But the reason he's so, the reason he ensures that it's said correctly is like, listen, you've got to give these guys their respect. This is their name. It has to be pronounced correctly. The respect he has for the sport, for the fighters, for the job itself. You know what I mean? And then just how good he is. Right? And whenever I commentate with John, it's amazing because you're there. You won't see it at people at home. When like they do the out of vision reads, they call it, and it might show the arena and whatever, and you hear John Anik's voice, he's there and he's screaming the energy,
so
from
into it. He's so into. I've been saying for a long time now, John Anik is the best TV personality, like live TV personality, across all sports in the entire world. He is the best. The amount of, and I don't say that just because he's my friend. I have never encountered someone that is so prepared and so good at their job. He's so good at his job, he makes other people's jobs that work with him easy. Like anytime John is the host on anything that I do, I know for a fact that I'm smooth sailing because he makes it so easy.
Well, hold on. You were smooth sailing because of me that one time as well. I went, Anthony, just look at me. Just look at me.
Yeah, I'm saying host. I know.
I'm joking. I'm joking, you know I am. So I just do.
I've told everybody.
Yeah, I know. We like
I told everyone.
I like to have my name thrown.
You gotta remind them.
So I just Googled, and I 100% agree with you. Top sports commentators on TV. Oh, here we go. Top 10 play-by-play announcers of all time. I won't know any of these people. Jim Nantz, you know what that is? CBS Sports. Keith Jackson, never heard of him.
Nope. Number one's not John Anik. The list is garbage.
Brent Musburger, I'm sure he's great at his job, never heard of him. Jack Buck.
Oh yeah, Joe. Okay, that's
Old Jackie Bucky.
Yeah, Joe Buck.
Dick Enberg. Don't know him. I don't know anyone. I'm not that kind of guy. 5. Mary Albert, Marv Albert, Pat Summerall, Al Michaels, Mike Doc, Emmerich, and number 1 is Vin Scully.
Number 1 is John Anik.
Number 1's fucking John Anik.
Number 1 is John Anik.
Stephen A. Smith's in here, Michael Strahan, Jim Rome, Tony Romo, Jim Nantz.
See, most of those guys are analysts.
They are. Brian, you got another question, please?
Yeah, we took that off the rails. Sorry, Brian.
That's all
I like
good.
it. It's good. That's good. Harrington did such a shit job with the notes this week. I'm sorry, Harrington. He sent them 1 minute before, right? There's nothing there. There is no notes.
Well, this second question is a follow-up from last week. This is Abby from the Fight Space.
Oh, God.
What's up, BYM Pod? It's me, Abby, again, and the last several months have seen so many former UFC stars entering other organizations and finding immense success. Sam Alvey's got the Karate Combat 205 belt. We've got Ike Villanueva over at BYB Extreme with their heavyweight title, and most recently, Junior Dos Santos took on Alan Belcher, the man who
He's the focus on having a fight with his tattoo artist and that abomination on his arm.
for their heavyweight title and won by knockout. It was an incredible fight. What do you think of all of these former UFC legends finding their place within the combat sports? And Mike B, I can't believe you don't think I'm about that life. And this was the original BMF's reaction to finding out that I want Donald Cerrone to brand me in Arlington.
I'm gonna let Cowboy Cerrone brand me with this. If he makes his 8-second ride, what do you think? What do you think?
By the way, Jorge Gamben Masvidal will be joining us on Thursday.
Nice.
Thursday's episode of Believe You Me. I mean, it seems like the perfect guy.
Right.
He's Mr. Miami. It's going down in Vice City. Here we go again. What was the question?
Oh, what we think about the other legends?
Well, I think it's fantastic, and I'm very, very happy for them, and I'm happy that fans still get to see them ply their trade. I'm happy that they get to make money. There's no negatives to it. It's brilliant. I mean, good for them. Good for them.
I'm right along with you. I don't have much to add there. Anytime any of our any of our peers, our brethren,
Community.
Community,
Peers.
I already said that one. Anytime they get when they don't, whether it doesn't work out in the UFC or they don't stay.
Outcasts.
No.
Rejects.
They're not rejects. They're good people.
Has-beens.
Maybe.
Never was is. I'm joking. Sorry.
Anytime that they get to go somewhere else and continue to make money and have success and support their families and do it by doing the thing that they are best at and that they love, I support it. That's why I tune into Bare Knuckle. I tune into these other organizations. I want the slap fighting guys to get paid. You know what I mean? I want them to support their families. Like, I want everybody to eat. I want everybody to eat. And if that means it's in other organizations, then so be it. I want you to do well. So I guess that's what I had. Also, Abby had a conversation with my management team at some point in time over the weekend. And I think I'm going to do an interview with her because she's been such a loyal listener.
Okay, well, just be careful with that, okay? Because once you open the door, they don't leave you alone. I've done this a few times. I'm like one of those guys. I'll give an interview, especially when they're young and they're up and coming and they want to get off the ground. So I'm like,
you want to help
people. I said, yeah, sure. And like, oh my God, that's fantastic. And this one guy, hold it, no, stop. Dude. It was a one-time deal. I'm not becoming a semi-regular. Harrington, we didn't have this in the notes. Speaking of Jorge Masvidal, and I echo everything you just said. It's great to see fighters still being able to make a living. Brilliant, right? Because it's hard. It's a tough path. Masvidal's been in the news. He's trying to go at Chael Sonnen. He's been talking about Colby Covington again. Harrington, are you there? And if you are, what is the situation with Masvidal and Chael Sonnen? Because I haven't been following it.
I am curiously Googling right now. I don't have, the only thing I have is,
I'll tell you.
Yeah.
Sorry, Hanks, you're late, bro. But Masvidal and Chael have always kind of had a little bit of riff over the years, and they kind of patch it up, and then they go at each other, and then they patch it up. But I know that in the behind the scenes, they kind of help each other a little bit, just with some marketing, some media stuff. And when Chael went at Ariel, it really pissed off.
I remember that.
When Chael went at Ariel and they had that big old dust up, I think that reignited some of the issues that Chael and Masvidal had. Because let's just be honest here, Chael has failed a lot of drug tests, and Masvidal, absolutely hates people that fail PED tests. He's been very outspoken about it. He'll scream and holler and fight you in the streets over it. So I think that, coupled with him kind of coming at Ariel, it's no secret that Masvidal really does like Ariel. So then Chael responds, and then they go back. That's kind of how it starts. And then it usually goes on like that for a while, and they'll patch it up.
Yeah.
But I'm working with Chael this weekend in Miami. So Chael's going to be there. Masvidal's going to be there. And I hope that I'm standing somewhere in the cut so I can watch it from the outside.
Herringbone, are you there?
yes, sir.
I wanted to bring you on. Anthony kicked you off. I'm like, don't do that to Herringbone. He's going to start getting his
I tried to save him because he didn't know.
You did.
I appreciate it.
Do you have anything to add, sir?
Yeah, you gave me enough time to pull up this quote from Chael. He did say, either way, policy will still be applied. I will not let him get close. I cannot trust Jorge Masvidal. Jorge Masvidal will be in Miami next week where I will be. Jorge Masvidal will be at the fight next week where I will be. I mean, it sounds to me like we're starting to bring pieces together. Now, he will have to wave to me. I will have to send up an usher to bring him a few levels down so we can get a little bit closer to the action where I'll be seated, but we can have that chat. I will be the one in the nicely tailored suit. He will be the one in the hood with his eye up looking like a thug that I need to keep an eye on.
Very eloquently put.
Sounds like Chael.
Sounds like Chael. That was good. That was good. Brian, do we got one more?
It seems like that's all we're gonna air today, Mike.
Oh,
Good questions.
Okay. All
So we
right,
got some
all right.
weird ones.
All right. Okay.
You want a really weird one?
No, I don't want a really weird. Oh, come on, yeah. Let's do a really weird one. Yeah.
All right, okay.
Actually, I was just baiting you. You probably don't want to play this guy's question.
No, but you've said over the years we get some really strange ones. Give us a strange one.
Oh, I'd have to go back and get a really weird one. I don't have one pulled up.
You don't have one queued up?
Not a really.
Okay.
Please.
Well, maybe next
Okay.
week try and have one queued up.
Okay, hey, how about this one? This is from one. Oh man, this is from a guy named Stoned Martian.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm here from the Bryce Mitchell crowd, and I do have a question for you. So, first off, I just gotta say, Harrington, you get way too much hate, and you don't deserve any of it. You do a great job producing this show, so props to you, brother. And
You're not helping my case.
Chris Fang and Smith, I'm curious to see as what you think of living off the ground, and why you aren't already doing it when the government's putting this much poison in our food. It shouldn't be able to go on like this. I think it's super up, and I think that we need to make a stand against the government.
Well, what y'all need to do, first of all, go on.
I just want to make a note that we do not advocate for making a stand against the government, as believe you me. I just wanted to say that out loud while we're on YouTube. You know what I mean?
We are not planning a rebellion.
No.
We're not trying to overthrow the government.
No, not yet.
Not yet. No, we're not. I see why I don't live off the ground and grow everything myself, because number one, I don't have the resources to do that. But I'm too busy going out working to provide a living. Doesn't look like you do much of that, buddy boy. You know what I mean? And whatever it is that you're eating, just ease back on a few of them. Calorie deficit is something I would recommend to you, sausage. Do you know what I mean?
Also, for anybody who would even think about living off the land, you need the land. And not everybody has a whole bunch of land. Now, not everyone lives in Nebraska where you can just go off and do the farming. I got the cows and all the other shit, but I don't have the time to raise like vegetables and fruits and all the other things. I got the cows, but those things kind of feed themselves for the most part. You need more than
doing when I'm older.
You need more than meat. You got to be able to farm and do the actual crops. It's not as easy as it sounds. It takes a whole lot more time. You can't be successful in life and farm on the side. You gotta do one or the other.
Yeah, I'm not going to get into that. As I say, when I'm older, I want to do that. But it does bring up a good point, because the majority of foods that we eat is just awful. It's awful. I mean, if you look at the ingredients at the back, most of the words, you can't even pronounce them. Chemicals in everything, even the stuff that claims to be good for you, a lot of the time it's full of utter bullshit. So that's a big thing that we're doing in our house right now. You can do better. Listen, now and again you want to treat yourself, but generally we don't eat processed food very often. Maybe not, like we might order some fried chicken or whatever, and I'm sure that's bullshit, you know what I'm saying? But generally, 9 times out of 10, we're eating clean.
Right. Well, and anytime I travel to like other countries where there's not a whole lot of processed food, if I'm there for any amount of time, I lose serious weight, and it's fast. It's crazy how just taking out like the shit that we put in our food here changes all of it. It's crazy.
I've said it many times, the ingredients that the FDA allow here, the majority of them aren't legal in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
And that isn't, we're better than you. It's an observation which is actually correct.
Right.
It's insane. And the theory is, of course, is that they want people to get sick, because then the medical industry makes even more money. So it's a self-perpetuating cycle.
Because something like that is the largest advertisers in America is the medical industry, are these pharmaceutical companies. So it's like, if they're paying for everything, the agenda is going to kind of skew towards their way.
It's all a load of shit. You gotta eat fresh. No, you do. I mean, we're done, I think.
Are we?
I don't know.
All right. We'll buy a flight to Miami. and I'll see you on Friday.
Well, this is the
Watch
thing.
out for the mall aliens.
Dude, I'm saying, I forgot about the mall aliens.
God, what are we talking about, Brian?
Now we're waffling on.
No, it's okay, it's okay. Thanks for watching, everybody. Subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't done so. Thursday's episode, I will be joined by, actually, 2 guests. Dean Thomas and Jorge Gamebred Masvidal. Okay, so you don't want to miss that, folks. Anthony, safe flight. Enjoy Miami, 299, Vice City. Here we go again.
The Joe Rogan Experience.
Train by day, Joe Rogan podcast by night, all day.
What's up? How are you? I can't believe we never met each other till today. That's kind of crazy. Really weird. It's kind of crazy. It was always like at the store, like, Cat was here last night. I'm like, fuck. It was always 2 ships in the night.
Right. I would see you and not be able to get to you. Like, comedy is small, but only if you're mediocre. It's big, it's a vast, vast place.
It's vast and it's also small because there's so few of us. And worldwide, we were talking about this the other day. There's maybe 500 of us on the planet. You know, you got to be real generous and say 500 because it's really probably about 250.
Right.
Like legit comics, guys you want to hang out with, guys who are fun. Guys who
your numbers going down.
Your numbers going down.
Your numbers going down.
Guys you'd recommend, leave your house, get a babysitter. The numbers going down. It's not a lot of people.
Right.
Think about the billions and billions of people on the planet. It's a smidgen of us.
Well, as children, we all take to talking with ease. And so the fact that later on in your life, you'd be one of the people that just say, I talk for a living, is an amazing honor.
It's amazing.
Even if you look 1,000 years back.
Yeah, especially today. To just be able to talk for a living? Oh my God. And that's the problem also with what we do, is that everybody can talk. So they see you talking, they're like, I can do what he's doing.
Right.
He's just up there talking.
And the better you do it, the easier it looks,
Right.
which is part of the trap.
Yeah, it's part of the trap.
It looks like he doesn't think about what he says, he just says stuff. But you couldn't be as accurate.
No. And then there's hanging around with comics, you get to know about shit like their electric Rolls Royces.
Right. Right. If Satan hits me, just know I'm hitting back immediately. You're gonna know about it. Yeah. The electric.
That thing is insane. Just the way the doors open up, the way the doors close and you touch the brakes. Totally silent.
For the price point, it would have to be perfect. And the whole thing is. And that's what you're trying to do in any genre. Like, you're trying to find that thing that is flawless in that genre.
Right.
And that's it.
That's the Rolls Royce. I've never had one of those.
Right. Well, because it's important to you that you be grounded in the important ways. So I can see you not having not had a Rolls Royce. I've had 4.
I'm not opposed to it. It's just the idea of it to me is like, don't do that. For me, I'm always like, get away from that.
Right.
Muscle car.
Well, see, you see what I mean? Yeah, because because we live vicariously through these things, and it's been that way for all of humankind. I'm saying it was still like that for the Roman and his chariot. That's how he felt. Like that's how horsemen feel about that ride. You know, like transportation and people have a love story.
Yeah, that's really the only object that I'm really into. Like I'm into vehicles. I'm into mechanical vehicles.
Right.
There's like something about mechanical vehicles that just speak to me. I love them. I love looking at them. I love sitting in them. I love driving them. It's just like, it's one of the things that people say, like, money can't buy you happiness. That's definitely true. You fucked up, you're not going to get happier if you get rich. But if you're already reasonably happy and you can afford a nice muscle car, god damn, you'll feel happier. You will feel happier.
But every time. So what I'm saying is, when I got the 67 Chevy Camaro, I needed no other cars. I was complete. When I got the Grand National, you couldn't tell me anything. There was nothing on the highway that was of my ilk. But I've felt that way 12, 13 times. That's what makes it real love.
Yeah, they give you real joy every time you drive them.
And you feel like that character in that movie, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, you drive a 1970 Chevelle, you feel like John Wick.
Yeah, it's a sacred place. There's music there, there's recklessness, but there's safety. You know, it's like, it gets to the essence of a being.
And I think it's a thing that won't exist 100 years from now. I think automated driving will be mandatory. I really do. I think we're about 100 years away. 100 years away from no personal automobiles. No control of your vehicle. We're going to stop all crashes. We could stop all crashes and all highway deaths. Come on, Kat. Won't you contribute and give up all your rights to drive? We're going to stop all death.
Yeah, it's not, but understand that all of these things have financial benefits, and then they use those perks you just mentioned to get you in. But I believe that it'll be mandatory. But for practical reasons, like this thing where the police want you and they have to chase you and you may get away, those days are done.
Yeah, they're just going to shut your car off.
Your car is going to do what they tell it to do. Just get behind this patrol car and follow us to the station.
There's
Lock the door.
speculation that they've had that for a long time, you know. There was that famous journalist, Michael Hastings, what was his name? There's this journalist, I don't know if you know the story, but it's pretty crazy. This guy went to Afghanistan with the troops. And he was only supposed to be there writing a Rolling Stone article about this general for a very short amount of time. But then there was the volcano in Iceland. And the volcano in Iceland stopped air travel. So this journalist from the Rolling Stone was embedded in this troop. And they started talking shit. And he started reporting the shit they were talking, including disparaging comments that the general had said about Obama. So the general gets back. He has to retire. He has to, you know, it's the Rolling Stone exposed. It's a big deal because everybody loves this general. So he retires, and this Michael Hastings guy is on the run. And he's terrified. He's telling people, if I commit suicide, I did not kill myself. People are threatening my life. And then he's going down La Brea, and his car is going like 120 miles an hour and just slams into a tree and explodes. And there's a video footage of it. This dude is just flying, look at that, flying down the street. Hits a tree, and the car explodes. And they asked security experts at that time, I think it was like 2005, 2005, is it possible to control a vehicle remotely? They said, does your vehicle have a computer? Your vehicle has a computer, they can control it. Period. There's a way.
And they know that.
And they've been doing that for, this is 2010. So this is 14 fucking years ago.
Easy peasy.
If they can do that then, what can they do now? They just shut your fucking car right off. Oh. Well, how was the article in 2010 if the accident's in 2013?
Well, the article came out first and exposed McChrystal.
Oh, the Rolling Stone
Yeah.
article. I thought you meant the article that, on the accident.
If you actually do reading about Tesla, see, that's the thing, Joe. That's why I love history so much, because once you find out that this world is a circle, you can never get lost. Like,
Right.
you can look at certain things and it'll tell you what's going to happen later, like with amazing accuracy. Like, yeah, like that's how I knew that things like what you showed me with Hastings, that those were real things.
Yeah.
It's not.
They've always been real.
Everybody who has ever been killed in one of those ways, there was a financial benefit to it. It was obvious. It was easy. You know where it came from. It's just that they do a good job. But how is that difficult if that's your job? Like, they do this really well. They do it worldwide.
Also, this guy fucked with the worst person you can fuck with. A high-ranking, beloved general who's in charge of trained killers who love him. And you don't think you could put one of those dudes on you with a coffee meeting? Just have a sit down at Starbucks with no phones on you? And let me explain what's going on?
A shadow government is no more difficult than a government.
Yeah. And so, not only that, they don't have to get elected. It's even better. Even nicer. They stay for a long time. Think about J. Edgar Hoover. How long did that motherfucker stay in power for? He was running the FBI wearing a dress for 30 years.
Because of what you just discussed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like that's why I can speak with impunity about the Illuminati, because I know who you would have to be in order for what I'm saying to bother you, number one.
Right.
Number two, I know your big secret. I know that you're not the Illuminati, I am. So, you can't be illuminated, dark. But the difficulty is getting people to believe something that they don't want to believe. And in each of these cases, this is where the money is. If you're just a capitalist, it is find something, establish a value for it, and make sure that that includes your profit, and make sure people really want it.
Right.
It is very fundamental.
Also, if you're running corporations and you're making billions of dollars, you're going to get bored. What's the ultimate game? The ultimate game is to run the whole world. You know what the ultimate game is, Kat?
I do.
We have an overpopulation problem, Kat.
Yeah.
It's an overpopulation problem.
Right.
And we're gonna be able to mitigate that with vaccines. We're gonna be able to mitigate that with healthcare.
Right.
We're gonna figure that out. We're gonna get rid of a bunch of people.
We used to be able to do it with neglect, and it was called nature's way.
Right.
You know, like whatever was ailing you, it wasn't ailing everybody in the world. The Chinese didn't have it because they had 6,000 herbs 6,000 years ago and knew what each one did, and
people are very resistant to that when they don't realize that almost all pharmaceutical drugs come from plants.
You can't be against the original.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. That's government propaganda working on you. That's like remember when they had Marinol, when they were making weed illegal, and the people that were going through cancer and their doctors were prescribed them weed for chemotherapy, so they gave them Marinol. Remember that shit? It's like a synthetic version of weed. It's terrible.
But terrible is subjective.
Right.
To nothing. So they have this oil-like cannabis that is for people having seizures.
Right.
And it's the only thing that will stop a seizure.
Yeah, it's incredible.
But here's the thing. The fact that there is a God is the biggest conversation worldwide. But the truth of the matter is, there is more reason for you to believe there is a God than there is for you to not. Like the way that things interact. Like if we're just talking about marijuana or alcohol or whatever that is, you have to understand that this thing serves no other purpose than to bring pleasure to this small group of beings.
Right.
And the fact that it already was set up to do that, the fact that it was already set up on this planet for there to be medicines for us to find and to utilize. And you see what I'm saying? It's like, it's not like, oh, yeah, so he made a cow. No, to make a cow, it means you had to also have made grass. And it means you would have had to have invented a whole new eating system for this animal, which was cud. And that means you would then have to have given him 3 stomachs to be able to, and you would have to have known that he was going to then emit a gas that was going to be necessary on the planet. Like, like none of these things
fertilizer
are right. The fact that everything goes together is how you know.
It's pretty wild. And every time we step in and fuck with it, it goes haywire.
Right.
Every time human beings do it.
Predictably haywire.
Haywire.
Right.
Haywire.
Right. But that's part of the benefits of free will. Is you really can jump into a volcano, dude.
Yeah. Haywire.
You really can.
I mean, think about what we've done to wildlife. The craziest thing in this country, especially right here, is pigs. Bro, wild pigs everywhere, and there's so many of them. I went to a friend of mine's farm, well, it's like a ranch, to hunt wild pigs, and you just hear them like Lord of the Rings characters in the bushes. And there's 150 of them near you, 250 of them, thousands on the ranch. They're all over the place, and they have 3 litters a year. And they start having litters when they're 6 months old. They just pump out piglets. Let's go.
You can tell they're not delicious.
They are delicious.
Oh, well, then here we go then. We don't really have a problem.
Right. No, we need to be pigs problem.
No, we need to be sending this off somewhere to someone who does.
Well, definitely we should. That would be an easy way to solve a lot of hunger problems.
I'm saying we live in a country where we're complaining about food sources.
Good point.
These chickens are pecking us to death. They're everywhere. I can't eat and sleep. Yeah, but they're delicious, right?
Yeah. Have more chickens. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we do have an overabundance problem for sure. We really do. But the pig thing is a wild one. It's hard to get them. Like they're very smart and they spread out and there's so fucking many of them. They shoot them with helicopters. They fly over them.
Right.
I've been invited 3 times since I moved here to go shoot pigs out of a helicopter.
But that's part of the reason that you came to Texas.
The freedom, for sure.
Texas is a place of great adventure.
Yeah.
And people who believe in that.
Yeah.
Right. It's really God's country in the right place.
It is in the right places. I think you're going to have annoying people everywhere you go in this world. But in general, I think the people here overall are nicer, they're friendlier, and they're not captured. They're not captured by the ether of Hollywood. They haven't been sucked into the vortex of ideological thinking and just that weirdness of that town. So when you escape that and just be around regular people, you're like, oh, people are all right. I've just been in an insane asylum. You're looking for a girlfriend. You know, like you have to be in a place where you're around good people, like normal people. It's better for you.
You're not trying to say that people that happen to live there are not nice people.
There's a lot of nice people there, for sure.
Here's the thing. Hopefully we can agree that the problem is with extremes.
Yeah.
Extreme anything.
Yeah.
Extreme left is as vicious and as far right.
Yep.
It's, the middleness of it all that makes America great. And
For
Texas
sure.
has been front and center of that forever.
I think a big part of it, though, is how much does your government control you? Even when things don't even make sense. Like in California, they made flavored vapes illegal. Can you imagine? Like, strawberry mist is our number one
That was
problem.
fine, but they let it also hurt black people in that it counted menthol as a flavor and hurt Newport.
So you can't sell menthol cigarettes in California.
Right, they have their own cigarettes. They
wild.
have non-menthol Newports. It's terrible.
Why do black people like menthol so much? What's that about? It's a totally different type of cigarette.
You're gonna get me canceled.
No.
This is very racist, this
Is it?
conversation, even though neither of us are. Go figure.
Just talking about a type of cigarette that people enjoy?
Just saying, why do black people like Newport so much? And a black person actually getting ready to answer this, it's terrible on all ends.
I don't think it is.
Well, I don't think it is either, because we have a new...
It's like if you started asking me about spaghetti, I'm not going to get offended. If you started asking me about Italian food or why are Italian people so loud, I'm not gonna get offended.
How many people have ever died of pasta-related illnesses?
A lot, Joe. A lot of fatzos out there kicking the bucket, bro.
That's not because of pasta.
That's an overabundance of carbohydrates.
They were going to be fat wherever they lived, sir.
Maybe. That's an overindulgence.
Be great bread eaters and
delicious high carbohydrate food. They couldn't stop it. People are addicted to food like they're addicted to anything. If there's a thing that I could ever be addicted to, it's that.
Right. That's all of us, though.
All of us.
And what a blessing.
Yeah. We have so much.
Starving people are addicted to anything, and they don't have food-related illnesses.
Exactly.
But back to where we were.
Yeah.
You were asking me about
the
the menthol cigarettes.
Oh, that's right.
And the answer is, we value strength in product. So there's this whole thing with liquor and malt liquor and the difference between the two, and one is richer and stronger.
Oh, the more potent version.
Right, and as a people, we tend to go with those products.
Things that are stronger, that makes sense.
Right, like before things were called concentrate.
Yeah.
That makes sense. Concentrate. And the fact that menthol is a natural thing.
Skincare product, juice and shit. Right. That makes sense.
The menthol.
It's just telling people they can't have anymore. Who the fuck are you? That's my position.
Well, and that's a noble position, and we appreciate the fact that you represent that. But the truth of the matter is not pretty. And the truth of the matter is that most people would like to be controlled more by their government.
Make it easier? Maybe.
Most people are all for government control, as long as they don't have to discuss it.
Yeah, as long as it works in their favor, they'll give up a lot of rights. And then hopefully the next administration that's...
Rights are generally worthless at the time.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of people that if the government can make life easy, a lot of people have it hard, right? So the government comes in and says, I'm going to make it easier for you, but I'm going to need certain requirements of you. I'm going to need you to have a digital ID. A digital ID will be attached to a social credit score. And we're going to give you universal basic income. You no longer have to worry about food or shelter. You'll be taken care of. And now you can pursue your dreams.
Is this the mark of the beast that you're speaking of, sir?
I think it is.
Right. That's the whole thing, is it's never been difficult at any point in history. Like we got a dude right now that's telling you front and center that I put a computer in somebody's head.
Right. Yeah.
And everybody's doing, yeah, it's the greatest thing in the world, sir.
Yeah.
But we understood this 15, 20, 25 years ago. We understood while watching Tron or while watching Cyborg, we understood that there was just this small line medically that needed to be crossed in order for us to be able to do these things.
Yeah.
Like if you can hook a battery up to an octopus and make it go like this, you're halfway there.
Yeah.
Why? Because this is a machine that we have.
It's a biological machine.
Right. And once you understand it, you understand it.
Yeah. And you can fuck with that machine. You can juice it up. You can fucking get it stronger, get it smarter. You can do a lot of things with that machine.
This is what the Anunnaki said. This is how you know that these are not made up things from people's imagination, because everything is too factual. Like this necklace, right?
Right.
People online were like, yeah, is that Buddhist or that's this or that? It's none of that. Like I just try to find the answers to things. So
Is that a ship wheel?
I designed this because this is that thing that you see that all the Anunnaki guys that have that look like a wristwatch, and they always have it, and you're always trying to see what that is.
Yeah, what is that?
It is a time, and it's a compass. It's a timekeeping compass.
That's what that is?
Yeah. So that's what made the carrier of great importance, because he was able to do things that were magical in nature, like go somewhere and get right back. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
that thing on the wrist was a compass?
a timekeeping
compass.
Yeah. Right. So you had to believe in things that didn't exist at some point, like magnetics and distance and
Right.
probabilities and
Right.
that's how, like, if you were to read like thousands of books about people that knew a bunch of shit, like you start finding out that it's not really about knowing anything, it's about where to go to get the information. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like when we look at all the ruins all around the world, like we're not seeing ruins of colleges and universities and all of that. We're seeing temples and synagogues and churches, but people don't understand that that's where that information was coming from for that period of time. When we went to these temples, they weren't in there singing and reading from a book. They were in there being taught things that they were able to go put into practice. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they were being taught art, agriculture. You know what I mean? Like they were being taught.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had some very bizarre knowledge too. They had a detailed knowledge of cosmology. They had a really detailed knowledge of our solar system.
100% of the writings across the world, whoever said anything about space or the universe or what was out there, why were all of them correct, Joe? It's not even possible. Like, how did they know that Mars was the red planet, and why was it a worldwide fact?
Right.
Planetarily, that Saturn had rings, like, based upon what information? Because nobody worldwide is disagreeing. Nobody's like, oh, I thought of this, or it came to me in a... Nobody's saying that anywhere in anybody's civilization. Everybody's civilization says this information came from the people that came from it.
Yeah.
There are no coincidences.
Well, they know that Mars used to have an atmosphere. Mars used to have an atmosphere, it used to have water. Something happened to its environment.
If that's correct, then there's a guy right now saying he's getting ready to put people up there.
Yep. Exactly. Restarted all over again.
50 years ago, there was no water in our whole universe, let them tell it. Now there's been water almost everywhere. There's water on the moon, for crying out loud.
Are you familiar with the Younger Dryas impact theory? Do you know what that is?
Say what it is.
Younger Dryas impact theory is a theory that Earth goes through a cycle of like comet storms every June and every November. And most of the time nothing happens. But every now and again we get hit. We get hit big. And they think we got hit big 11,800 plus years ago. And that had to restart civilization. And that what you're seeing from like Mesopotamia, all these people 6,000 years later, they think that is a rebuilding of civilization that was already like just whispers and stories and tales, and then they rebuilt it again thousands of years later.
But if you go back to like 11,800 years ago, you're dealing with what we thought were hunter-gatherers, and now we know they weren't. Now we know they built complex stone structures, and the real speculation is they think that the people who built the pyramids built them way earlier than the conventional dating is. They think there's real evidence to show they're 9,000, 11,000 years old. Easy.
No people built the pyramid.
No people? Who built them?
No people built the pyramid. And if you look around the world, you see certain telltale things that let you know that advanced machinery was in usage. Look, this whole thing where slaves are stronger people is a fallacy. We like to believe that slaves are stronger. Slaves are weaker because they don't eat the right food and they live a terrible life. Your slave population is not smarter and better conditioned unless you're enslaving the Jews.
They stopped thinking that quite a while ago. They think it was actually skilled labor because of the way they were eating. They found what their camps were, where their food was. They ate like very good food. So they think they were actually skilled labor, but also probably forced skilled labor. But that's probably not the people who built it. That's probably the people that were working on it. That's probably the people that worked in the village or in the city.
How many companies have done renovations on the White House? None of them have done enough renovation that they can claim it's their White House. So, yes, thousands of years worth of people were there. But that doesn't have anything to do with the building.
Who do you think built it?
Well, understand, we know enough now to understand that this was a complex. This was not,
right.
We've been led to believe that this is how much they worshipped their dead bodies.
Right.
But the evidence doesn't show any of that.
No, it doesn't.
Like when you see inside, when they have those intricate carvings and paintings and stuff in gold and stuff, you have to remember this is in a windowless room, folks. There's no candle soot. There's no it's clearly a power plant and built specifically for that location on this planet.
What do you think it was powered by?
The hot water springs.
So it was powered by the hot water springs? And to what end? How do you know all this, first of all? Is this marijuana talk?
I don't think so. This is
where did you read this?
If you follow information about humankind, you find out that in all parts of history, people were coming to this region for their information and their knowledge and their things that were forbidden, and these were not these were the highest of human civilization.
Not even comparable to anyone else.
No.
Nor since. Nor
now
since.
Or
Nor since.
Right.
The Great Pyramid of Giza is insane.
Right. like even Tesla says that this is where he came to get the information. But if you follow that information pathway, it leads you to this character called Thought, right? And the emerald tablets of Thought are literally mind changing and mind blowing, just because you understand when this was written and the terminology being used is
when was it written?
Far too accurate for now. So I'm sure that
Here it is. Emerald Tablet, also known as the Smaragdine Tablet, or the Tabula Smaragdina. Boy, I fucked that up. It's compact and a cryptic Hermetic text, which is highly regarded by Islamic and European alchemists as the foundation of their art. Though attributed to the legendary Hellenistic figure Hermes Trismegistus. How do you say it, bro? Majestus. The text of the Emerald Tablet first appears in a number of early medieval Arabic sources, the oldest of which dates to the late 8th or early 9th century. It was translated into Latin several times in the 12th and 13th centuries. Numerous interpretations and commentaries followed. So what does it say, though? The Egyptian god Thoth. Okay, it says beginning in the 2nd century BC onwards, Greek texts attributed to Hermes, a syncretic combination of Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth, appeared in Greco-Roman Egypt. Those texts known as the Hermetica are a heterogeneous collection of works that in the modern day era are commonly subdivided into two groups. The technical Hermetica, comprising of astrological, medico-botanical, alchemical, and magical writings, and the religio-philosophical Hermetica, comprising of mystical, philosophical writings. Holy shit.
Is this weed talk, Joseph?
No, this is so legit.
So legit, my man.
So this dude was probably an alien.
Dude, first of all, there are no probablys.
Yeah.
That's the benefit once you hear it or read it. Is the fact that it's given in first person, and that's not possible. The things that are being said are impossible. Enough time has passed, though, that it's not like that. But
I'm gonna read that.
It literally says, hey, there's a spaceship on Earth, and this is where it is.